Good. Let's do the questions that Audrey asked in the study guide and discuss some of them.
Okay.
She said, she gave an example of how, if you remember that story about the two brothers, I think, and she was quoting Bastiat and saying how the one brother spent and spent and spent,
Right.
and the other brother saved, and how the society was saying is better for the economy to spend, and moral principles he was learning at church or whatever were saying it's better to save. And so they wondered about how there was a discrepancy, and what Bastiat was saying was there isn't really a discrepancy, and here's the truth: those true principles are going to be in harmony with each other. Societal and personal principles are in harmony. So Audrey asked, if personal and societal economic principles are always in harmony, is the same true of other types of principles? And then she said to write down some examples. So personal and societal economic principles, or what are some other types of principles that you would call maybe a government principle or a family principle or some other kind of principles that are in harmony with each other that maybe don't seem like they are? I don't know, something like that.
What about keeping spending under control to where you can pay off your obligations? I didn't say debt is bad, because sometimes it might be necessary, but not getting so deep in obligations you have to declare bankruptcy or something like that.
And what is that in harmony with? What?
Well, that's a principle
That's just
applies to people, but it also applies to governing people socially.
Yeah, good.
Okay, I thought
Come on in. I'm Richard. Bonnie's dad. Hi.
Hi.
It's good to finally see you.
It's nice to meet you.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
You're Brandon?
Long day.
Landon.
Landon. Oh,
Yes.
I almost got it.
So I was just thinking on the way over here. So you guys have been in China. Do you have a home here in Aura? This one.
You're at their home.
We're visiting, but we have other homes that are rented out, so we can't occupy them. So
Okay.
they made us welcome here.
Awesome.
Yes, very
All
welcome.
right. So you are living in Orem then.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We were just talking, and Deanna, I think, is supposedly on the little tablet on the floor, but her microphone and her camera are not working. So Matt and she were talking before, and apparently she can see and hear us, I hope, but we have no way to know for sure. So we're just every once in a while, hi Deanna, hope you're there.
Okay.
And she's gonna call Matt if there's any technical problems or if she has any
Awesome.
um,
I'm
questions.
just gonna text her and say, "Are you on or not?"
Yeah.
But so you know she is.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's what they arranged.
Hi, Deanna.
And so we're hoping that, I mean, if they disconnected, I'm assuming she'll just call him.
Okay.
And he's going to be the technical support guy once he's done setting up the technical buoy for the children.
Right.
So,
we don't get to hear her fabulous thoughts.
no, unless, I mean, if she has a comment she really wants to share, she said she'd call.
She
Or
called.
Matt could get her on speakerphone when he gets finished with the girls.
So-
Yeah, that would be good. We'd be glad to have her. Speaking of Deanna, and before we get right back on to our subject, what is her little baby's name?
Savannah.
Oh,
And she is so cute. She has hair about this long,
Oh.
and it's everywhere. She's just got this big head of hair. Amazing. And it's dark, and it's just fun. I finally got to meet her. I think it was yesterday morning. I finally went over there and held her for a minute. But it's Savannah.
Good to know. She gave us the information. We found out it was a girl, and
Yep.
this is progress. But then I thought, what is her name though?
Yeah, she was nameless because they were having a boy.
Oh.
So they didn't have a girl name. Because Mike was positive that it was a boy.
And they had their boy name all set and ready
Yes.
to go.
Yes, and then it was a girl, and they went, oh,
From
we don't have a name.
Okay, thank
So
you.
it took them a little while.
And Deanna and Karen are sisters. That's the other connection.
Oh,
That's why I thought I could safely ask Karen about Deanna's information since Deanna can't talk to us.
Yeah, and Deanna won't mind that I'm sharing all this about her sweet little baby.
So if I remember the name right, your father is Dan Lindsay.
That's right.
I did remember right. Okay.
Yes, you're
Awesome.
making the
You have a
connection.
good memory.
Okay.
Yes.
Great. Well, we are, so far, we did our little introductory, the routine, and we're discussing the lecture number 6 and going over some of the questions that
Do you
Deanna
have it
has.
there?
I
Can
mean,
you
that,
tell me what
yes.
the assignment was? I was going to review
Yes.
the assignment today and see how much of it I had done. And my life is crazy.
So it was watching lecture 6,
I did have it.
and then from 5,000 Year Leap, it was principles 12, 20, 21, and 26.
Okay.
And then the proper role of government as our chaplain, so that article.
An article.
And then starting whatever happened to Penny Candy, but she didn't give a
We
specific.
did start.
She didn't give a
3:50.
specific assignment about that, and so if we don't get to Penny Candy tonight, I think it's not even a big deal because it wasn't a specific amount assigned, and we'll talk about Penny Candy a lot next time.
So it was 12, 21, 26, and one other?
20.
12, 20. Uh-huh. 26.
Looking
Awesome.
familiar?
Yeah, I read them all.
Good.
I'm just looking to see which ones they are.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So there were just 3? I thought there were 4.
12, 20, 21, and 26.
Oh, 21 also. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. But right, so far we're talking about the lecture and some basic questions that she had from the study guide about the lecture. So she gave an example in the lecture that was from something that Bastiat had said, and he talked about 2 brothers, and they were both wealthy, and one saved a lot and slowly spent his money over time, but saved and accumulated more that way, and the other spent and spent and spent and spent and ran out of money. And he was talking about the
Sounds familiar,
societal, the societal and the personal implications of both. And the thing that he was comparing was that society was saying, the societal economic principle that they were hearing in society was to spend, because it's good for the economy and for all of society. And the personal economic principle that those brothers were learning was to save. They hear at church and whatever to save their money, whatever. And so Bastiat says, why are those 2 out of harmony? Why would there be a societal principle and a personal principle that are both economic principles that are out of harmony with each other? Because you can't do both.
No,
Are you
they
supposed to
won't
help
be both-
society
yeah.
or your personal self?
Evidently one of them is not a principal.
Right, exactly. And so he then shows how really the brother that saved helped the economy more in the long run than the brother that spent, because he ended up spending a whole lot more money than his brother over time because he had a lot more money
And he was more
just distributed.
consistent.
Yeah.
And more
So-
growth conscious.
So I believe that Bastiat's 2 points that he brings forward is opportunity cost and unintended consequences.
Yeah.
So opportunity cost, of course, would be when you spend something on one particular thing. The example he gives is a broken window. So people would argue that if he's fixing a broken window, then it gives